Beauty standards are social disease and it impacts all of us.
8 out of 10 people, they hurt themselves unintentionally because of these dietings and because they're dissatisfied with their bodies, both men and women. And this is really harmful for their self-esteem as well.
And I remember locking myself up in the washroom, crying for hours and look at myself in the mirror and say, why am I like this?
Okay, I was reading this thing, and the company Dove, they did a research in 10 countries, and they found that only 2% of women considered themselves beautiful. And that was so shocking to me.
Glass skin,
Cancel it.
Cancel it.
thin eyebrows. How can Gen Z redefine beauty standards? Today's topic is really close to my heart because, like me, there are many children out there, especially girls, who are being told at a very young age that they are not beautiful enough. And from that age, they start shaping the definition of beauty and build belief about themselves based on that. But the good news is, today's generation is wiser and they have the confidence to challenge the notion. Joining with me today are two amazing guests. They are going to take us through their personal journey and share ideas and belief about this very hot topic, beauty standards. Help me welcome the two amazing guests, Eva Chadha, who is a year 10 student from Brighton College Abu Dhabi, and a grade 8 student, Aastha Devadiga from Abu Dhabi Indian School. Welcome, the two of you.
Thank you very much.
This
Thank
seems
you.
absolutely, this seems so surreal. It
Yeah.
feels like we were discussing this just yesterday.
I know, yeah.
And we are here across the table today discussing this very crucial topic.
Yeah.
Still feels unbelievable to be here.
Absolutely. And how do you feel to be here?
It's a bit nerve-wracking because, it's the first time doing something like this. But at the same time, I'm so excited to get the opportunity.
Yeah, totally same. It's very exciting for me to be on camera and to do something like this and to speak on such a heart-touching topic for
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So let's reel it. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, when we Google what is beauty, what are the images pop in? The images of a thin, light-skinned, straight hair, tall, a very well toned body, whether
Yeah.
male or female. Those are the images that pop out. And that is the belief that the children like you grow up with. So what has that belief been for you both? What is that? How do you define beauty? Let's start with that.
I think for me, beauty has always been really subjective. I mean, I never really put a definition on it, but when I first think of it, the first thing that comes to mind is a really tall brunette woman with perfectly curled hair and, light tan skin. And I think, she's tall, she's lean, she has a perfect figure. And I think that's the first image that pops into my head.
Yeah, same. I feel like social media has created that picture on us of that perfect woman. But I feel like true beauty really means being yourself or accepting who you are truly.
Absolutely. You're right. And I think we are here to discuss the same belief that people have around this topic. What is beauty? But many do not know it's skin deep. It's not what you see outside. And I'm sure this episode is going to help a lot of children of your age who have this notion in their mind. Okay? So beauty standards are not new. You know about that, right? It started thousands of years ago and people still believed in beauty having a certain definition, whether it was in the ancient Egypt, where women used to put kohl eyeliner to make their eyes more dramatic, or whether it was in China, ancient China, where women would foot bind to make it look more colorful.
Yeah.
So it always had a standard, a set standard. Who are these people who create these standards? I mean, how are these beauty standards created?
I definitely think that the people that create beauty standards are like influencers on social media. They tend to like set these trends, and I think it keeps changing. They first start off with like a very clean girl aesthetic, and they start with looking very neat and tidy, and the next month or the next week it's like bold makeup and all of that. But at the same time, I also think it's like us as a society who like feeds that fire for them to you know create this environment for us.
Yeah, I feel like it's us as well who is like expecting so much from people like women, men. We're expecting that ideal type of person. We don't want to accept that everyone has their own type of beautiful and everyone looks different themselves.
So you are trying to say that it's the media that has a major part to play.
Yeah.
But do you believe that even society has an equivocal view on how beauty should be defined? Because we all are from the Indian origin, and we know. Maybe I've experienced it. For you, you may have read about it, that how beauty standards are defined in Indian community, and still people stick by it. Um, what have what is the awareness that you have about coming from India? How has beauty been more? Is beauty still being more about accepting oneself, or it is still the same like it was?
I feel like people are evolving, trying to accept themselves, but at the same time, there's still expectations. Like in India, the perfect beauty standard is having clear, fair skin, even though that's like not that popular in India. Having long, thick hair, and being lean but not too skinny as well. Like, and there's also a lot of like fairness clinic, and according to research, there's over 16,500 fairness clinics in India. And even there's like many brands promoting fair skin. Like there's one brand like Fair and Lovely. It's a pretty popular brand. Yeah, pretty popular brand in India. And how they promote like fair skin. That's why they faced a lot of backlash in 2020 as well. They faced like protests from like many people, many celebrities trying to say like to stop promoting fair skin. So now they finally changed their brand name to Glow and Lovely instead of Fair and Lovely, to empower radiance and skincare over skin color. So I feel like that's how like people are like slowly evolving. It'll take time, but I feel like it'll be better, in the coming future.
No, I totally agree with Asta. Like, I think that's such a common Indian beauty standard when it's not even common in India. Like, so many people in India, have a darker complexion, but the ideal is, a lighter complexion. And I know that, like, people, even like my own mom, she's faced that. And I think that's a topic very close to me because, she tells me about it and she tells me about her struggles and stuff. And I think so many actresses, especially in Bollywood movies, they influence this. Like Kareena Kapoor, like she is a huge influence on so many young girls. And at the same time, like I was just, having a read, and I found that right now the fairness industry is valued at $10.7 billion globally. And by 2033, it's estimated to be valued at 18.1 billion. So I think that really shows the influence that beauty standards have on us and our purchase.
Then why is so much equity placed on fair skin? Where is it coming from? Is it something that we breed in our culture and we nurture it through our conditioning, that fair skin is equals to beauty? Because I think this is something, it's not in our hands. It's we are born with a certain skin color. So where is it coming from? Are we more influenced towards the West to have something of an origin, to look like Westerners, when we are not?
I feel like it's actually very ironic. In the West, people want to get tanned. They want to have that tan, and then they have like appointments to get tanned. But the same thing in like India, we all want fair skin and we have fairness clinics. So this seems very, yeah, it's like nothing is accepted.
Correct. And I think these trends will also keep changing, because tanning is something I've heard new that the Westerners have accepted. But I think with regards to India, it's never changed its belief of about fair skin.
And I think especially now, due to like social media and, globalization,
Yeah.
We've come to see all these influencers getting, famous because of their, skincare routines and,
Right.
all the things that they do. And
Correct.
we set an image in our head that, looking fair and, looking a certain way gets us more likes, gets us more comments. And I think
Absolutely.
that's what people just chase after.
Right, right. I am also the victim of colorism.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't born with a very fair skin tone and was always the center of discussion as to why is my skin color so different from my siblings. And I remember locking myself up in the washroom, crying for hours as to and look at myself in the mirror and say, why am I like this? And I'm sure there are a lot of children, and especially girls out there, are still going through this trauma of not being able to accept themselves.
Yeah.
Because at a very young age, we are being told this is how you look. And that's the same belief that we carry with ourselves, and that shape our thoughts. It had been a painful time for me in accepting myself. It still is. It sometimes just resurfaces that, oh, who do you think you are? So I have to tell myself, no, I know what I am and I know what I'm doing. But I'm sure there are not a lot of people who have these opportunities and strength to battle this in the real world.
Yeah.
Has there any struggle been out there in terms of you accepting yourself and the way you both look?
I feel like I'm a person who doesn't usually care about what people's opinion are because like being of this generation, I've started like listening to myself. But there was this one time, I think I was in like the 6th grade and I was playing like a lot of sports outside. And then I was in India as well. So it's like a lot of tanning and like a lot of time in the sun. So I became like super tanned in that time duration. And then everywhere I went, comparing to my previous like skin tone, everyone was like, oh, what happened? And it's like I did something wrong. I've been like cursed. Like what happened? And it's always like try this, try that. It's not like, oh, it's okay. You're a kid. You're doing what you're supposed to. And I feel like people. It's not like people from the outside that tell this to you. And it's like people who are like near to you. But then I feel like my family, my parents, my mom, my dad were always there for me like during this time. And they're like, no, it's okay. You do what you enjoy doing. Yes. And like don't care about what people have to tell to you right now.
I'm glad that you had a family like this. Yeah. But in most families, this isn't a norm. In fact, I was reading somewhere 4 on 10 girls leave sports activities at a very young age.
Yeah.
One is the skin, second is the body dissatisfaction. They're not very happy with the way they look when they play a certain sport. So that feels like such a curse.
Sometimes the family is like the starting of the problem.
Correct,
They start telling, no, leave this. Everyone's like talking about you like this. What would they say? What would these people say? So I feel like having like really strong support is like really important during these times.
You are right. You're absolutely right. And you're right about the near and dear ones. They are the ones who always put you at a point where you feel embarrassed about your
I
own
agree.
self because you really care about what they think.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, of course, I do. I've faced that, so I know how it feels. But living in this era, you may not have faced what the millennials have gone through.
Right.
But I still don't deny the challenges that you guys have around beauty standards being changing overnight, thanks to the viral hacks and the trends that begin on TikTok and Instagram. Talk to me about that. How stressful had it been, if it was, and how does it feel like living in this era?
I think social media is something that constantly has an impact on you. It's not like,
Correct.
You get one comment, okay, I felt bad for a day, done. It's not like that.
It's not like that.
It's a continuous process. I mean, let's say if I post something on TikTok, on Instagram, Snapchat, wherever, I will get these comments from my friends and they'll be, so kind. They'll, write such amazing comments for me. But at the same time, there's other people that are looking at my post. They talk about it in school. Oh, why did she post that? Oh, why did she think she looked okay in that? And I think they don't say it to your face, but you find out anyway. One friend through another, it gets to you, and then it just keeps going around in your mind. Like, did I really have to post that? Why? And it makes you like continuously think about the same thing, and I get stuck in, like, me personally, I get stuck in a cycle where I can't escape it.
Is it the same with
I'm not on too much social media, but obviously it's more hurtful when you hear it come in like a circle and not directly to your face. I feel like, then you're like, oh, what if they're talking about me? Then you have to like second guess posting like everything on social media.
That's so true.
Yeah, because you're like always worried, like, oh, what would they think? Oh, do you think they'd talk about me behind my back? Do you think they'd like it? So it's always about what people expect you to be other than what you want to show yourself.
true? And that gets stressful,
Yeah.
right? And how do we prevent this stress? How do we do that? Because the way we look, the beauty standards are directly linked to mental health, right? It gets to us someday or the other. And then it goes around in the vicious circle. How do we prevent this? How do we tackle this?
I feel like encouraging influencers to like post filterless pictures, because many people are believing that that's the real them. And then like young girls want to be like inspired to be like them. According to research, it says that 40% of the people on social media, they feel insecure about how they look after going through their videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like 5 out of 10 women, they would pray to be beautiful, like they're so-called beautiful, and 6 out of 10 would even hope they look acceptable to like other people.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
And I think one thing that will also really help is, just kind of promoting to just accept who you are. I think there's such a big culture of, filters and looking effortlessly perfect that I don't think people realize how much effort actually goes into looking effortless, So I think one thing that would really help is promoting, really accepting yourself and not comparing yourself, because there's like one quote that I read like years ago, and it's honestly stuck by me, is that comparison is the thief of joy. And that's so true, because you'll always look, the grass is always greener on the other side. You'll always look to what the other person has. You'll always want that. And I think that's just like something that stuck with me.
Right. So I read this somewhere that beauty standards are social disease and it impacts all of us. And since we're talking about comparisons, as you know that your circle is not just restricted to your classmates.
Yeah.
You tend to compare with anyone on magazines and TV and even on social media. What is that? Has there been any time when you've compared someone, with yourself and you felt dissatisfied about it? Because I remember doing this through my teenage years when a new girl walks into the classroom and vibes in with all the people in the class. So she had that charisma, she had that confidence and the courage too. So I mean, everything packaged into one. Plus, she was good looking. So I would always look up to her and think, I mean, what is something different in her? What is it there in her that is kind of, people are gravitating towards her. Maybe confident, maybe the way she made people feel. But at the same time, her comments were also arrogant, which to a larger extent, people never mind. And then you start comparing yourself to people out there and you feel, oh, kindness is important. It's not about just looks, isn't it? But during the teenage years, you don't have that mental capacities to understand that kindness is the only thing. You start to only give a lot of weightage to the physical attributes of a person. And I'm guilty of doing this. Has there been any stories like these?
For me, I think, so I'm in school and I see, this girl, and she's beautiful, she has this perfect, wavy hair.
Yeah.
And she's not too tall, but not too short. And I think she was just beautiful, So eventually I became friends with her and we became quite close.
Yeah.
And, we would walk together, but I would notice like small things, how she was the one getting compliments, and like it would be both of us together, but she would be the only one getting compliments. And I think, not to say that I was jealous, but that just kind of sparked something in me. I was like, why? What's something that she has that I don't?
Yeah.
And, she was smarter as well. Like she would always, it was like the difference of a millisecond, but she would always like lift her hand first in class or answer the question right. And I would think like, what can I do to be more like her? That was like for like a month or two, that was like the only thing going through my head. What can I do to be more like her? And so, but I think at the same time, the people you surround yourself with have such a major influence on you that the more time you spend with them, the more you become like them. So now I've literally noticed some of her qualities rub off on me, and I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, I would just say that, surround yourself with the right people.
True. Yes, Aastha?
I don't feel like I have such a story where I compared myself to someone else. But there are obviously people around me who I always, can learn from, get inspired from. So I feel like support, like Eva said, like surrounding yourself with the right people always like helps your self-esteem as well. Because they don't try to like gatekeep something from you, like you can always learn from, they're always there to help you. But then there's also people who are, they're like perfect and everything's good about them. So when they make like rude comments about you in like a joking manner, everyone laughs at it and you feel like, oh, it's fine to like accept that comment about you. But at the same time, I think you have to realize like you have to stop them from making fun of you like that, because it really hurts you sometimes.
I don't think it's like direct. I think it's like really sneaky, they just try to
They
slip
always
it in as a
slip
joke.
it in as like a joke.
True. Honestly, yes, I've been there. I've been in the same boat. Talking about beauty standards and mental health, and it's not just about the stress that we talked about, it's more to just accepting the way you are. You can resort to eating disorders, distress, trauma, and even there have been increase in the number of suicidal cases in the US, and also the self-harming episodes among the teenagers are on the rise. And I think this is all attached to the same premise, which is beauty standards. We are comparing ourselves constantly and we are not getting the result that we want. There's somewhere people are blindfolded by this definition. And I think it's very hard to break a system like this that exists. And not everybody will have an access to right people.
Yeah.
You understand, like you both were fortunate that you had the right friends and right people in the family to support you, but not many have it. People live in broken families, separated parents. It's very hard for them to deal with a trauma or a trend that is going on like this. And hence the mental health is, it leads to other issues like eating disorders and stuff. So like the other day, I saw a young boy who is barely 13 years. He was chasing an influencer for the six-pack abs. And he was 60 plus in his weight. He shrunk himself to 40. And in the last months before he died, he was 30 only. He was just underweight, and he was on the diet. He was on a diet with only juices as his main way of having no food, no carbs, no protein, only fruit juices, and that led to his death at the ripe age of 14. I mean, to me, that was shocking.
Yeah.
Seeing a 14-year-old boy losing his life. So what is it that the kids should do to kind of stop and eliminate this noise around them about looking good, having six-pack abs, having glass skin, having a certain hair kind? So how do you avoid these things apart from the stress that you talked about?
No, it's actually crazy that I read somewhere that 8 out of 10 people, they hurt themselves unintentionally because of these dietings and because they're dissatisfied with their bodies, both men and women. And this is really harmful for their self-esteem as well. So I feel like kids our age should just stop trusting social media so blindly.
Yes.
I stumbled upon something like really hilarious recently. It's a celebrity, Anne Hathaway. She was on a late night show with Ellen. And the entire audience was there, and she kept a clementine. It's like an orange beside all of the audience in the place, right? And then she told, okay, everyone open the clementine and keep it in your mouth and start making weird noises into it. It helps like your mindfulness and it helps you become calmer. Right? So everyone started doing it. And then she asked, "Oh, is it helping you? Is it calming you?" And everyone questionably, they nodded. They're like, "Oh, yes, it is helping me a lot." And she's like, "No, it can't help you. I just made it all up right now." Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, don't believe everything you watch on social media because most of the things might not even be true." Yeah. And many people, they hurt themselves through this. So I feel like celebrities taking a stand for this, it's really strong and it like really inspires young people out there.
So true. And that is so crazy of, people just blindly following the trends.
And the fact that they like actually believe it as well. They're like accepting it. Oh yeah, it is helping so much.
That's true. Now, we talked about society, we talked about media a lot, but I feel this is all cooked at home. The beauty trends start at home. Because nowadays kids as young as 4 years have access to these apps with the face improvement apps and the dress up the doll kind of apps and enhance the beauty apps, and they are in awe of these apps. They find it fascinating. uh, and that is where the beauty definition starts shaping up.
Right.
That I have to look at it in a certain way. Even the dolls that we find in the
Yeah.
shops, at least now the things have changed. Back then, during our days,
There was like the ideal Barbie.
Barbie
Yeah.
dolls with a certain kind of
Yeah.
thin waist and
Like blonde hair, blue eyes, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
And it was always like everyone was liking her for the way she looked.
That's true. And I think that kind of that broke. It was just, I think, last decade or something that the things have
Right.
changed. Now there are more inclusivity and diversity in terms of the dolls
Yeah.
and toys that children are playing with. So I think it all starts from home. So what is it that you Gen Z think parents should be advised on this?
I think one thing that parents should definitely do is to, look at your children and actually notice what they're doing, I think one thing that teenagers struggle with so much recently is actually opening up to their parents. They feel like they have no one. And I think that again leads to so many things that they do secretly, eating disorders, poor mental health. And I think that if you just notice, oh, my child, she didn't eat a meal today, or she didn't eat the breakfast the next day as well. Like, why isn't she doing that? And I think keeping track of their behavior is such an important thing because
Yes.
they won't tell you directly. You have to kind of figure it out. And I know it's a challenge for parents as well,
Yeah.
but I think it's so like crucial. And I was reading, and in Korea, South Korea is the plastic surgery hub of the world.
Yeah.
And they literally gift plastic surgeries like nose jobs or really basic surgeries. They gift it at graduations and birthdays, like, oh, you need the surgery, I'm gifting it to you. And that's such a common thing, and I found that so shocking. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, with the plastic surgery thing, there's this new thing started called as Snapchat dysmorphia, where people are going to their surgeons and they're telling them, "Oh, make me look like my filtered self." And 79% of the surgeons like say that their clients, they feel motivated to like live after doing these plastic surgeries with their filtered self.
And the other day I noticed at one of the I don't know, I just Instagram can send you confusing things. There was a girl who was 5 years, maybe less, was sitting in the salon chair and was getting the eyebrows done.
Yeah.
And the parent was right beside her and holding her hand. And she was so distracted. I'm sure she is not the one who said, "I want to get this done." But somewhere it's the parents.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
for
they need to
sure.
understand that this isn't the age for kids to get exposed to this pain.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it all starts from home and parents creating that culture at home, culture of acceptance, culture of inclusivity, culture of belongingness. Because eventually the kids start feeling, I don't belong.
Right.
I had this feeling, even though my parents never made me feel, but because we lived in a joint family, I felt I didn't belong to this place. I should run away or hide myself or do something to look beautiful or pretty or more accepted. How have your parents helped you in this journey?
I think my parents, I actually remember a time where, I was like going through this phase where I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think I was beautiful enough. And I think that's something that every girl goes through.
Yeah.
And my cousins were visiting at the time, and they were outside in the living room, and I just kind of sneaked off to the bedroom, and you know, for a quick 5-10 minutes, I just had a good cry. Like I needed that. And my mom came in, she was looking for me, and she just saw me crying on the edge of the bed. She was like, "What's wrong? Like, why are you crying?" And I at the time I was like very vulnerable. I didn't want to hide anything, so I let it all out, and I told her everything that I was feeling. And I think the way she supported me and the way she listed things about me that were beautiful,
How sweet.
and I think that really helped. And I think all my friends around me as well, constantly complimenting me and telling me all these good things about myself. I think it
Yes.
really, really, just it plants something in you. It like gives
Right.
you hope for your own self.
Yeah, same. I feel like my parents have always been there for me, even like I said before about the getting tanned. They're like, it's okay. Like, if you're happy, then we're happy for you as well. We don't mind about like we don't care about your looks, or even though you're like they always think I'd be pretty because obviously I'm like their daughter and stuff. So I'm always pretty in their eyes, and they're like, you do whatever you want. We can answer to whoever is like commenting on
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Like Eva talked about the compliments that she got from her friends that made her feel better during her time when she was feeling low. I've seen that a lot of us, including me, okay, I don't exclude myself in this topic at all because I've done it all. So, including me, initially it was hard for me to accept compliments.
Yeah.
And when people said good things about me, I thought they're too kind or they're too blind that they didn't see the real side of
Yeah.
me. And they were not just parents, because we don't trust our parents
Right. Yeah.
otherwise. We feel, oh, they're too kind to us. But even if you get it from outside, we feel, no, I don't deserve this. And even one of the TED Talks that I watched of a makeup artist, she said um, 9 out of 10 females she meets apologize for the way they look. That's insane. This is the body that we have to live in for the rest of our life,
Correct.
and we
Yeah.
hate being in that space. It struck to me. It just hit me hard, and I feel uh, it's hard for us to accept the way we look. What are the compliments? How can we turn? What is one thing that you want to suggest to people out there to accept? One is how to give compliments better for people, and second is how to take compliments better.
I think no, I think this is something that really struck to me because I go through the same thing as well. If someone compliments me, I don't know how to take it. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
shut up. I'm like, okay, and I try to shut them off.
Yes.
But I think slowly, as my friends compliment me more and more, and I have these amazing people around me,
Yes.
they constantly just like compliment me. And I think by doing that so often, I'm starting to learn how to accept it. And
Yeah.
in fact, if you compliment someone, they're more likely to give it back.
Yes.
If you tell them, "Oh, your hair's so pretty," they can, go ahead and say, "Oh, I love your makeup today." And I think it becomes like a cycle, and that makes them happy. They go compliment someone else. So I think just constantly doing that is a game
how do you
changer.
take compliment now?
Now, like, I either compliment them back
Okay.
or I'll say, "Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me,"
Wonderful. So now you know how to receive those
Yeah.
compliments
But
as well.
sometimes like I still sound like, "Oh, shut up."
And I barely hear people say, "Oh, I love the way you are," or "I love the way you make me feel."
Yeah.
I've started saying this to my teachers. "Oh, I love the way you make the children feel so comfortable." And they take that as a compliment, not just the way you dress up.
Yeah.
The brands that you wear, those are not compliments. And I think those kind of perpetuate beauty standards more.
I have a friend who started like complimenting me on like my personality more now, and she's like, "Oh, I love how comfortable I am to talk to you. I love how you make me so open. Like I feel like I can tell you about anything without being judged." And I feel like that really means more to me than anyone like commenting on my looks.
Right.
I think one thing as well, like the friends that I have, whenever they need to come to me for something, or if they just need someone to talk to, when I listen to them, I think one thing that really resonates with me and lasts, with me when they're done talking is they always say, "Oh, I'm so comfortable with you. You make me feel so seen." And that, I don't know, that just like hits different for me. I'm like, that is so nice that I can make other people feel good.
Right. this isn't the case with our millennials.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't compliment people on our vibes, on the way they
No,
make
that's
us
something they should
feel
improve
or
on.
seen. No, at least I haven't witnessed this. So I've started giving people this compliment,
Yeah.
hoping I get that back, but I hardly get that.
I feel like that's what's like good about this generation. I feel like they've
Yes.
become more accepting towards like diversity.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, certainly. Yes. So, girls, what is it that do you think confidence and looking good has a correlation? For me, it had a lot. When I hated myself, seeing myself in the mirror was the hardest thing for me. Imagine waking up to the same face every morning and then telling ourselves everything's good, all is well, nothing's going to happen, things don't change. It didn't change for me, but I do feel there is a correlation, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Now, when I look back, I think there was a big mistake in understanding this. What's your understanding about this?
Previously, I used to feel like there's like a huge correlation between like confidence and looking good. It's like, you know, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you're confident enough. But now I've read articles about like famous celebrities and how they were backlashed and discriminated against for their looks, celebrities, and how they overcome it. And then, like, I can tell you the story about a man, he's a celebrity, Robert Pattinson, okay? After he finished his series Twilight, everyone was like telling him, oh, you're too pale, or you're not the right kind of handsome for Hollywood. And then I feel like he ignored all of it, and right now he's like a fashion icon for Dior. So I feel like ignoring the hate comments about you and accepting yourself, that's when you actually become more confident.
And I think that like looking good is a very temporary thing. You can't let that affect how you feel and how you project yourself to others. So looking good and confidence, yes, you know, when you dress up, you feel a bit better. You feel the need to use filters in photos. But at the same time, confidence is how you project yourself to other people. It's how you talk, how you move around, and it shows. Rather than in your dressing style, it shows in your body language and, how you do things on a day-to-day basis.
True. And I think it all starts, it's an inner job.
Yeah.
Confidence is an inner job, looking good is an outside job. I think you can't connect the two together. So first you need to work on your inner self, make yourself feel strong. For all those who are watching here and are struggling with feeling confident, being able to speak confidently, I think one thing that has worked for me is doing the inner job first, fixing the inner flaws first. That what do you think about yourself and what are your beliefs about your own self? And then you pick the right dress, you have the right body, tone yourself up, work out, read. I think feed in the positive things that are available to you, and I think things just seem beautiful.
They fit into place.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It doesn't have to be a thin body or a flat ab. It doesn't work this way. Yeah, we're all programmed in a different manner. We are all coming from different mindsets. So I think fixing our mindset is the first thing which helps.
And I think so many girls just struggle to see that everyone is, built in a different way, because I was reading this thing and, the company Dove, they did a research in 10 countries and they found that only 2% of women considered themselves beautiful. And that was so shocking to me because I think everyone is beautiful in their own way. You might not be good at one thing, but that makes you amazing at another. You don't have to limit yourself to just one thing. And I think it really hit me, like a lot.
True. Let's come to this last and a very fundamentally important question that I want to ask you both. How can Gen Z redefine beauty standards? You have that power to break it, to voice it, right? And to redefine it. What is it that people can do in this world to redefine it so that the next generation doesn't face the same thing that you all are facing now?
I feel like there should be like, it starts from like education and like obviously accepting yourself. And I feel like school should also like implement some things where students are motivated to accept themselves.
What does your school do about it?
My school, there's obviously like a no makeup policy, and I would say it's strict. I would say it's very strict actually. But there's still girls my age or like in my corridor that still break it. I see girls with like bags of makeup in the washroom, like 15 minutes before dispersal, like touching up on their makeup. And I find it very unnecessary and also unhealthy, both for their skin and also for their self-esteem, that they have to wear this amount of makeup to actually accept themselves and think that they look beautiful. And according to research, 54% of women, like females, they have a low self-esteem because of the way they look. Yeah.
And I think one
so
thing
you're trying to say that it starts from school, doing some work over there, right? Okay, so that's where we can redefine.
One thing that I agree with Aastha on is that it starts at school, because you are stuck there for 7 hours a day, you even longer, and you are constantly surrounded by the same people.
Yes.
And if you see them, putting pounds of makeup on their face, you're going to want to, be like that. Like I said, the people you're around has a huge influence on you. So if you're around people who are spending 3 hours on their makeup, waking up early before school, touching up in every single, minute while walking to class, I think that becomes a part of you, and you want to be like that as well. So I think one thing that schools can do is, put like really becoming strict on their no makeup policy.
True.
As that will really boost their self-esteem.
Right.
Thinking that, I don't need makeup, especially for school. That's not the purpose. You're coming here to learn. You're coming here to advance in your own life. You don't
and I
need
think
to...
that also applies to the hair colors that the boys
Yeah.
go for, because they want to go for a trending haircut
Exactly.
or a hairstyle. I think that also includes boys to a larger extent, not just the girls. So yes, of course, schools have a huge role to play there. Now we're getting into the second segment of this podcast. After this insightful ideas from the two of them, let's spill their thoughts on few more things that are trending in this era. Okay, so this game is called Cancel It or Crown It.
Okay.
Okay, and you can give a brief explanation to why you want to cancel it. Okay, and it's up to you to decide what you want to say. Right? Okay, the first one. Glass skin. Cancel it, crown it.
Cancel it.
Cancel it. Yeah. I think it's unrealistic. I mean, in places like Korea, that their biology is set in a way that they have that, but not everyone in the world does. And I think people need to accept that. So
yeah, I think people also need to accept that people are growing and the hormones inside them actually, they can't do anything of something that's happening inside their body. So
Right.
I feel like people need to accept it more, that everyone can't have perfect glass skin.
Correct. Fox freckles trend. Freckles.
Oh, God.
Cancel
No.
it.
No, I'm not a person for freckles, so cancel it, I think.
cancel it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bleached eyebrows.
Oh, cancel.
Cancel.
Cancel it.
Cancel it. No.
Yeah.
Where are the eyebrows?
Bold hair colors. Neon, green, pink, green.
I feel like it depends on the person.
No, I would honestly say crown it, because
Yeah.
I know so many people might say cancel it, but I think in a way, it's one way of expression for some people. People that are limited in expression, this is one way that they do it. So I think let them have that, let
Yeah,
them...
and it also shows like a different norm than the regular, like the standard hair color or the how your hair type should be. So it feels like people are actually breaking through and trying to express themselves, like Eva said.
kind of protesting,
Yeah.
I guess.
In fact, I had a friend who had a premature graying, and all her hair have turned gray. And she must be my age. So what she has done is she's colored it red. And I always thought, and it was half white and half red. And I'm like, why on earth you do this? You have a beautiful face.
Yeah.
Why do you want to ruin it? And she says, well, I am tired of dyeing my hair, coloring my hair, because my premature graying started when she was 12.
Oh, yeah.
She said, I'm tired of it. Now what do? I have to color it. So I think it's a form of expression and also preventing ourselves from using too much chemical, at times. Okay. Nail art.
Crown it.
On it.
Okay.
I feel like it's again a feel-good thing. You do make yourself feel better. But again, doing it like continuously again might be harmful for your
Yeah, I think continuously, I think it definitely harms you, and again, you feel like you're very bare without that, But at the same time, I think once in a while to feel good about yourself. It's the same thing with putting makeup on or straightening your hair. I think.
Okay. Oversized hoodies with tiny shorts.
Depends how tiny they are.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a nun, but I don't want to look like someone,
Okay. The flat abs.
Cancel it. I feel like it's raising too much expectations for people. And I think it's getting to that unhealthy amount as well, where people are not working out to feel fit anymore. They're doing it like so strenuously. They want to look like someone or like put that stress on.
They have this expectation that everyone should have abs. And
Yes.
69% of teenage guys, they think that they don't, they don't find themselves attractive just because of their body weight or just because they don't have abs. And I think
Yeah.
not everyone does, and that's okay. It's your body type. You don't have to look a certain way to feel good.
There's this insane trend that's started. I don't know if it's true. People removing their ribs to get a tiny waist.
Your organs inside your body must be like praying, like help.
Okay, the last one. Hourglass obsession. Hourglass figure.
Cancel it for sure.
Really?
I think
my daughter's going to kill me. She loves hourglass.
No, I mean, it's beautiful. It's like good for them, but doing it so much, like putting so much work on it, that's very unhealthy for your mindset.
chasing it is something.
Yeah.
If you're born with that, or if you naturally have that, I think
Yeah.
that's great and that's wonderful.
Yes.
But chasing after that to a point where you're not eating, you're removing ribs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that should be
Absolutely.
chased after
So
that much.
obsession is wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
The obsession is wrong. Working out to be fit, that's completely fine. That's healthy for you. But then working out so much where you want your waist to be that tiny, that's
Your waist is not going to be 1 millimeter. Yeah, like
Okay. Let's start with the second segment, in or out. The first one, bold red lips.
wait, if they're still in?
If the Gen Zs would like to have it in today's trend.
Oh yeah. It feels like it holds like a statement, you know?
But there is also a trend for pale color.
Yeah, it's very contradictory. Everything's like opposite to
Red is to make like a bold statement. you
bold
know?
statement, yeah.
Skinny eyebrows, the ultra thin eyebrows.
I feel like there's more to the like bushier eyebrows now.
Next one, crimped hair. Crimping your hair,
Oh.
making it look wavy. Not curls, but wavy.
Yeah.
I would say out.
You think your
I think it's
generation would,
in.
you
I
love
think
it?
it's in, yeah. Because like for people with like curly hair like me, I would like love to like straighten my hair and like make it wavy because it becomes so hard to manage when it's curly.
I think, but crimping is like, I guess some people still do it.
Yes.
It's not for me.
Low-rise jeans.
It's in. It's yeah.
It's so in.
Hoop earrings.
Oh, it's in again.
Live example.
And the last one is bigger sunglasses.
I would say out.
Yeah, like bigger than your face. I feel like you can only see.
So in the retro movies, the old
Yeah.
movies,
No,
they
the
have those-
circular
I get
big
that they were in
sunglasses.
then, and I think that we should.
But you
keep
wouldn't
that.
because we are doing a lot of retro kinds
I
now.
know,
also,
I know,
right?
and-
So why can't we do these things? Some of these
I
things.
don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't match
No?
with the
Okay.
rest of the trends that are going on. I feel like it wouldn't fit in.
Wouldn't fit in. Okay. So yeah, that ends our last segment. It was honestly really fun. Didn't feel like how the 1 hour just slipped by. And I feel
And I
wish
feel
I had more time.
I wasn't stuck. It was like a free
It
flowing
was like
conversation.
It was.
a conversation, like
Absolutely.
whatever was there in your mind comes to your
Correct,
mouth.
correct. So it was fun. The conversation was candid, and I'm sure this episode is going to impact so many people out there who will watch this and who
hope
will
so.
learn and who will share this information with kids your age. And I feel somewhere we can make a dent and make that change in a way that is possible for us. And I think you both have done that today. So congratulations and thank you for doing this. It was fun, it was thrilling, and I'm very proud of you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.